So hello guys, I'm going to show you how to use Firebase and React, in this case we are going to select specific data in React, like they use select statement in SQL. It's the same, it would work similar to how select works. And the first thing we are going to do is that we are going to install Firebase. I've used create React app to generate this app. It's just a simple app, so when I try to run it, it's going to give me just this is just a line. Yeah, so let me try to run it so you can see it is pretty empty and simple. I intended to make it as simple as possible, so you can see it doesn't have anything. Okay, now what we are going to do first is that we are going to stop our package. The application was running, so to do that, press Control C. Simultaneously it should stop the package from running. Control C. Yeah, so it has stopped running. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to install Firebase, and the way you do that is npm install Firebase. Okay, so by that npm install Firebase, you press enter, and it might take some seconds or maybe some minutes depending on your machine, so just be patient. Meantime, as it installs, now we are going to do something else. We are going to create that project in the Firebase console, and this is how we do it. We go to Firebase, just type in Firebase, of course. Go to this URL, console.firebase.google, and you should be able to firebase.console.google, and you should be able to get that page. So let's see. Now we are going to start by creating our app inside the Firebase console, and then we proceed as we wait for this other installation that is going on to finish. So content like this, just subscribe to my channel and you're going to get more and more of this. Every time I post a video like this, you'll be able to receive it and get it very well. So the way we do that, this is the Firebase console, and we are going to create a new project. So we just go ahead and create a new project. So, and by the way, if you have not used Firebase console before, it will take you to a log where it will ask you either to sign up or to log in. If you just click on add project, and after that you're going to enter your project's name. Ours is Firebase test, so you can name it whatever the hell you want. Just give it any name, it's going to work out as it works for you. So then hit continue. Then here, of course, enable Google Analytics for this project. Then continue. Choose create a Google Analytics account. So select account. So we're going to use the default. And then hit finish. So you wait for your projects to finish, and in the meantime, our Firebase was installing. I don't know the progress, it is still installing, so just be patient with it. It's going to install, and by that, after the installation has been successfully, after setup has been set up completely, you're going to jump into the project and set up a few things. So here it is. So your new project is ready. Now continue. So it's going to take us to that project here. Exactly. Now after it has taken you here, we want to select the application which we want to use with our Firebase. Of course, here you have an iOS app, of course, that is for mobiles, iPhone mobiles, Android, and web. So in our case, because we are using JavaScript, we are going to select the web. So the web app nickname could be test. Okay, then register app. So by that we should be able to get to the next step, which will generate this code here. Take note that this code is very important. So we just take that, we just copy that because we are going to use it in our project. So we open our text code editor. We can just create another file inside the src, new file, and we are going to call it Firebase.js. Don't forget that. So it's going to open our Firebase.js and then copy your code inside there. Okay, so at first, before you do anything else, just make sure you import Firebase. Import Firebase from Firebase. From Firebase /app. Okay, that is pretty good. We also need to import something else, which is Firebase. Okay, this is how we do it. Import from Firebase database. So make sure you don't forget to import this database, because you may have problems if you don't do it correctly. So we are not going to use the analytics for now, so we are going to do away with that. We'll come to that later. So export default. Export default Firebase. So Firebase DB. So we are going to name it differently. So the variable we are exporting here, you must define it. Okay, so we want it to carry our Firebase database, so we are going to do it here is equals to, so we initialize Firebase and then set it like that. Okay, so of course we have to declare this one as a constant. Firebase is equals to, so that is, we are done with the Firebase file. Now we are going to proceed to our app.js. So here we are going to import this, whatever we have exported. So we're going to copy that and we are going to import it here. So import Firebase DB from, of course you can see the location of our Firebase file here. So we're just going to select from where we have installed. So of course you can see, so it is in our files. That is why we make sure you don't import Firebase from Firebase as the way we have just imported here. If you do that, it is not going to reference it from our file, but rather it's going to reference it from the Firebase library, which you don't want, because you have the configuration that you want to use inside this file. So make sure you import from this file you have declared. Okay, now having said that, let's see if our Firebase has finished installing. Of course it was successfully installed, and what we are going to do now, we are going to npm start to start the project. So, and as it is starting, we can also continue doing something else. Now we want to use this Firebase. So what we want to do for now is something we did not do inside the Firebase console. So we are going to continue to console. So make sure you don't skip this step, because if you do skip this step, then you will have problems. Yeah, you will not be able to write from the Firebase. So we made this test, which was a web application. So we are going to go to database, real-time database. So and then we are going to create database. We are going to select where you want it. This one doesn't matter so much unless you really have security issues. Of course, you can read from the description. From here, it's going to give you details of what this one is, but essentially this is the location where you want your data to be stored. So we're going to hit next. We're going to start in test mode, okay, so that it's going to allow us read and write from our database. Enable. So having said that and having done all that, now our Firebase is ready. Our database, Firebase database, is ready. So we can see it has a node which has an empty database. There's nothing inside here that is stored. So, and to do store some, of course, we can see our app has started running. Okay, so we're going to go to the developer console, yeah, so that we can see this console. It's very important when you are debugging. So what is next is that we want to go to this, is that you come here and yeah, we can use a lifecycle method, which is use state. You're going to import use effect, sorry. Okay, now we come here. So after we have done that, we are going to use effect. Of course, you can't use the use effect. You can't use the hook outside the function, so you will come and use effect. Of course, if you don't know how to use these use effects and lifecycle methods and hooks generally, you can go to my channel. You are going to find more about hooks. Of course, now we are going to clean up this. We don't need the return function for now, and also this. So here we are going to have an empty array, and there we go. We want to fetch from Firebase. Essentially, we're just going to write some code that is going to for us. So we're going to use this, then dot reference. So we are going to dot on, then we're going to write on data, here we will have that. So we can have a function here, and then we can just fetch data from inside the way we want. So we can have a snapshot. Okay, we can start by writing data. Sorry, so we have a problem here. So sorry. We have to reference the Firebase db.database. And then dot reference. So right now it should be able to write into our Firebase database, and that is the info we'll be writing. So let's reload the page and see if it's going to work through for us. So we can see, of course, it's not going to show us anything, but when we check from the Firebase database, should be able to get the data we have written. Okay, So we have successfully written. Let's now write another set of data so that we can be able to select from the one we want. Here we are going to have, let's go back to our code. Let's write another. Here we select users. We want to make nodes, multiple nodes, so that's as users 1. So we reload our page, and as you can see, immediately we save. These are real-time database, so it's going to directly give us that which we have requested. Okay, so you can see our data. We have 3 sets of data that have been fixed. So now we want to go and fetch data from this. Let's first start by fetching all the data that we have, all these 3 users, user 1, user 2, and user. So, and essentially the way we do that, we just come to our code. So let's say now we want to set to fetch the data. So we're just going to do the same, but now here instead of set, we are going to use an on. Then whatever is inside here, we are not. It is very awesome. So we are able to fetch all the data that is inside our Firebase database. What is remaining for us to do now is that we want to fetch a specific data from this database. For example, we want to fetch or from all these nodes. We want to fetch from the node where, let's say, name is equal to Dennis K. Yeah. So we check whether the name is equal to Dennis K, and then we fetch that particular node. That is what we want to do right at this. So, and the way we are going to do that now, so guys, we want to check, we want to fetch from the database, from the Firebase database, where this value, where name is equal to Dennis K. So we don't want to fetch all these other, we want to fetch from every node where the condition is name must be equal to that. So we're going to copy that. So we want to fetch where name is equal to that. So, and the way we are going to do it here is that we come here, instead of pushing everything, each and every child, we want to push only where that condition is fulfilled. And the way we do it is like this. We are going to use an if condition. If the condition we are going to supply is that the child we are having here dot value, to get the value of the child, dot name. Of course, name, we can reference it, it is here, it is this same name. Yeah, so dot name. So don't ask me where we are getting the dot something. So if we wanted to check according to the age, we could just have selected dot age, but now we are going to use dot name. So here we come, dot name. If child dot value dot name, then we are going to push the data inside. So else it's going to ignore that. Okay. Yeah, and then we are going to oh sorry, we have to set the condition very properly. So we are going to equate it to some value. So we will check if it is equal to a given value, which is our name here. Our name here. Control C. Of course. Yeah. So what we are essentially doing here, we are checking that if child.value.name is equal to what value we want, then it should return that node and should push it to this array here, and then we are going to set that array. So let's reload our page and see if our logic is working. So we reload and see we are going to return an array is returned which contains the information that we want exactly. The node that has that that name that we have set in our function. So we wanted to fetch where this is equal to this. It is just like the select statement in SQL, where you would do something like this, like you would want to select. This is how we do it in SQL. Select all from some table, where let's say name equal to some value. So, and it would return all the data that contains where the name is equal to that value of selected in this statement. So the same logic we are working out here, though differently. So child, this child we have defined here, dot value will return the value of that, and dot name will return exactly that name. So, and we are checking if we are looping through all the data to check if the value of the name is equal to this, and then we are going to return that, where we come and push it in our data array, and that will be pretty it. So when we reload, you can see our logic is working perfectly. Yeah. So let's clear the console again and try to reload once more. And as you can see, we have returned an array which contains our Firebase data from that node. Of course, age in 25 and name Dennis K. That's the same way. So if we wanted to set something else, let's say we wanted to have it return where name is equal to, let's say, John, then given that there is no node that has name field where name is equal to John, it's going to give us an empty array, so it's not going to return anything. So let's check. So yeah, we can now check here. We can see since there's no node where we have a name equal to John. So let's try to run that and see what we are going to return. So we are going to get an empty array. So you can see we are getting an array that has nothing, since no data has that parameter that we have set. Okay, so that is pretty it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, please hit the subscribe button and comment on the sections below. Try to tell me what I can do to make the videos more engaging, and also what I can do to make it be helpful. If you have any suggestions of the videos you would want me to tackle or maybe cover some areas, then I'll always be here. And yeah, that is it, guys. So please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and you'll get updated on every detail on every video, important video as this that I post from time to time.